Hi crafty folks, Amy here with Amy's Wares, and today I have an easy single layer Christmas card to share with you. Now this is the brand spanking new Pile of Presents stencil. This is from the November release at A Colorful Life Designs. I have an A2 size card base when I'm done throwing it around. I have some mini ink pads, the Carnival collection from Catherine Pooler, and my blending brushes. These are actually the Bitty Bunny blending brushes. They're also from the Rabbit Hole Designs, but they're tiny and they're cute and they're good for getting in little nooks and crannies. So here's a photo of the finished card. You can see it's single layer, just has some ink blending and stamping and some splatter, but overall nice and thin, flat, easy to ship. So I just have it loaded up on my Wendy Vecchi station tool, and I'm going to mask off the little edges that are sticking out with some 2-inch post-it tape that I get from Amazon. So I will link all the products that I used in the video description box below. If you expand that area and scroll down, you'll find all of those details. But basically, I'm just going to do some very simple masking and make all of these presents different colors. So this one obviously is a holiday card. However, this could be used year-round because this could be for birthdays, as a big stack of birthday presents. So definitely don't feel limited in your seasonal supplies, especially ones like this that you can absolutely use year-round and get mileage out of. And let's be honest, I mean, stencils are such a cheap, good price point anyway. They're just such a versatile thing to have in your crafty stash. So what I did here, just so I wouldn't get too out of hand, I just picked 4 colors. I kind of thought, traditional red and green. I actually used Coral Cabana, which is technically a coral color, but it reads as, kind of red for all intents and purposes. But I have the Coral Cabana. I'm going to use the Mardi Gras, and I have this All That Jazz, and then I'm trying to remember what other color I used. Oh, the Grape Crush, I think, maybe? I don't know. I just used 4 colors on this. Oh, no, it was the deep blue. It was the suede shoes, blue suede shoes. But I just thought, these are colors I would use for Christmas colors, basically a red and a green, and then you have like a blue and a teal. So just think of colors that will, you don't have to worry about them blending. They don't necessarily have to get along like color blending, but colors that look nice together. So if you have a color wheel, you could maybe use that for reference if you're not sure on picking a color palette. But really, I just wanted to keep it simple. So with these Catherine Pooler mini inks, you may have noticed I don't collect the full-size pads. For one, because I don't have room for them, and I just prefer these smaller ink pads. So what I do instead is I stock Catherine Pooler until she comes out with these mini ink pad sets. No, just kidding. But as soon as they do come out, I have to have them. But I do wait for the mini pads. When they come out in these sets of 8. So I buy the set and then I buy the refills because these are very juicy. They are foam pads and they do tend to dry out maybe a little bit quicker than like your felt pads. So if you are going to do the mini, well, honestly, either size, you're probably going to want to get the refills. But this is my method, which works well for me. And works for storage for me because I just keep them all in the little container that they came in. So then I know automatically that they're going to kind of work together. So if you struggle with putting colors together, then maybe think about something like this. If you're in the market for inks, maybe think about getting these and then keeping them in their color family or in their original boxes, because then they're going to kind of work together and you can kind of create your designs based on that. So obviously you can absolutely mix and match them, which I do from time to time, but I find that this is a quick way to make sure that nothing's going to clash too bad, because if they're in a set together like this, chances are they're going to look good together. And if you aren't familiar, she does tend to have her inks classified in 2 categories. Basically, she has a party collection and then she has a spa collection. So this is part of the party collection, and they tend to be way more kind of like punchy in the face, bright. So they're very bright, very pigmented. And then the spa collection are also very pigmented. However, they're just a little bit more muted. So again, you can mix and match between the party and the spa collection, but you will find, I think, easier or maybe better results if you kind of stick in those two families, like spa collection colors with spa collection colors, or, you know, party with party. So like I said, you do you, there's no rules, but I just try and find ways to kind of take the guesswork out of it sometimes, especially if I'm not feeling particularly inspired and I don't want to deliberate over a color palette. So just something to consider if you struggle with picking colors on your cards. But I'm very happy. I love these 4 colors together. I think it's bright and colorful, and kind of a non-traditional Christmas color palette, but I'm really pleased with how it turned out. Now, I also got this stamp set recently from Catherine Pooler. It is a Christmas themed. It's got all these fun shaped sentiments, and I was really considering that fa la 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 down the side just because it would really kind of nestle in there. So I keep going back and forth, and then I end up deciding with the original one that I pulled off, and I am happy with how it looks. If you're not sure and you don't want to ruin your card, you could stamp this first on some acetate, just to make sure that you like the look and the color and the placement before you commit to, you know, stamping it directly on your project. So here I'm just doing very light tapping. Like I said, you don't need to go too crazy with the ink pads. They bring out so much ink and they're so pigmented that you just barely have to tap your stamp. But I'm going to stamp that in the top right corner. Wow. And then since it says sparkle, I decided to use these cute little stamps here because they look like little sparkles. So just going to pick those up with my Misty Door and stamp those with the, I think it's the All That Jazz color, just to lay down some little teal sparkle. It looks almost like snowflakes or something. And then I will come in and add some proper sparkle to the card just because, you know, it says it in the sentiment. I have to deliver, okay? I just have to deliver. So I'm just going to wipe these stamps off, and then I have this little mini set of metallic, or actually they're glittery metallic watercolors that I got from a company online called Yuli. It is a shop on Etsy, and I got those 6 little, I think they're quarter pans maybe. Yeah, they're quarter pans. Those 6 came in that little tin with that little swatch sheet, and then I also purchased that charcoal black half pan from the same company and just kind of shoved that in there. So this is something that I always have on my desk. It's really handy, and I just use this water brush pen from Arteza just to drop some water into it to activate it, and then just kind of flick right off the edge of an acrylic block. So now the card has some sparkle, and I stamped the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry on the inside of the card, but overall, super flat, single layer, working directly on a card base, and it'll be really easy to ship. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please hit the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And I have some more videos here below for you. I'll catch you next time. Bye.